Hello, YouTube. This is not the usual me. Friend Ken here is over today. We did some work on the airplane behind us. And Ken had this idea for a video a while ago about trusting your instruments when you're in the clouds. So we did a lot of work over the past year or two, sort of stitched together some videos and put this together. So Ken, why don't you introduce yourself and tell us what you want to do and why you wanted to do this.
I'm Ken. Hello. So the reason that I originally thought of this was that a lot of times you see like accident investigation videos or whatever, like Blanco Lirial, pilot debrief and that kind of stuff. And a lot of those are spatial disorientation incidents where pilots, lost control in the clouds because, of the things we're going to talk about. So, spatial disorientation, for those that don't know, is basically why we need instruments to begin with. You can't trust the feelings that your body tells you what's happening. You need to look at the instruments. But a lot of times in the comments of those videos I just talked about, you can see people saying, well, all you have to do is hang a pendulum down, or you can drop something, or you can look at your water bottle, and you can tell what your orientation is, basically what kind of idiot doesn't know which way is up. So the idea is to kind of show why that's a problem. It's hard to understand if you've never experienced it, but we're going to at least show some of the physics of it to explain why it's a problem and why we need instruments.
Yeah. And, all right. Sounds good. So first we took off out of the airport into instrument conditions.
Yep.
And explain to us a little bit about what we're going to be seeing here and why it's important to look at them or why not.
So the idea here is that we are in the clouds in instrument conditions, and if you look outside, everything is gray. You can't get any information by looking outside of what your orientation is. So the attitude indicator at the center top, the blue is the sky and the gray or whatever is on the bottom is the ground. So we started in a climbing turn to the left and then leveled out. So if you watch the attitude indicator in the center, the turn coordinator in the lower left, and the directional gyro, the electronic instrument in the bottom center, you can see those change as we level out from turning to straight aheads. But looking outside, you cannot see any of that, so we need to look at the instruments to know what the plane is doing.
Definitely. All right. All right, so now we have a quick demo of what the instruments look like. This is a comparison to like the pendulum in a car, right? Because if someone says, hey, this is how it looks like in a car, why doesn't it look the same in a plane? Well, it can, right? But here's what the instruments tell you on the ground. In particular, if we look at the turn coordinator, right? In the bottom left there, we can see that if we swing it around on the ground, this is on the ground, not actually flying, very similar to the car, the ball goes way out, and you can see the wings turning because we're turning toward the right. So that's what it actually looks like if you were to compare an airplane to a car, right?
And you can see the pendulum in the car doesn't stay level to the ground either. It points off to the outside of the turn. So clearly, pendulums don't stay level under all conditions.
Correct.
Like you might think they would.
Okay. Yeah. So now what we're going to show is a demonstration where we start in straight and level flight. We are flying at like 3,000 feet or something like that. We're in straight and level flight. We've hung a pendulum off of a temporarily mounted location in the airplane, nothing permanent here. And we are still looking at it because it's straight down. Ken's working hard over on the left seat because he's doing something that seems interesting. And you can see the shadows moving because we're actually turning. And if we pull the camera up here, which we're going to do here, we're in a 45 degree to 60 degree bank or so. Kind of crazy. But if we look at the instruments, they are showing, briefly showing that we are still turning. That's yeah. All right, so next up, we're going to go through a couple different demos, right?
Yep. So this is all the techniques that don't work to tell you whether you're right side up, turning level, whatever. So yeah, we're going to repeat the pendulum here where you can actually see outside while we're turning so you can see what happens. Obviously, it'll still point straight down like it always does. So basically, our acceleration and the fact we're banked into the turn means that in a coordinated turn, the pendulum continues to point straight down regardless of whether we're turning or not. So it's not telling you whether you're level.
I have to say, you rolled into that turn really nicely. That pendulum barely moved.
People are going to accuse us of rigging this thing, I think. There, it moved a little bit.
There, okay, yeah, I swear that's not me. I'm holding it against the glare shield.
Yeah, so after this, we are going to show what happens. So the next technique is the water bottle, I believe. So we're going to show that the surface of the water also does not remain level to the ground when you're in a turn. So again, we're rolling into a turn and the surface of the water is still straight relative to the airplane, but not straight relative to the horizon. So you would think you were straight and level here, but the water doesn't tell you that you're actually in a steeply banked turn.
That's a pretty steeply banked turn right there, too.
Well, we want a good demonstration.
That was getting heavy after a while.
So this is the theory of dropping something. So straight and level, you can see that it falls straight down as you'd expect. And then again, steeply banked turn, you drop it and it falls straight down relative to the airplane, but not straight down compared to the horizon. So again, dropping something does not tell you if you're straight and level.
This is a lot like the if an airplane's on a treadmill, will it ever take off thing, right?
Yep. More laws of physics.
Yeah, we have to deal with those. So that's what we have for the demonstration. Basically, what we're saying here as two instrument-rated pilots, one much more experienced than the other. That's him. You have to trust your instruments, and
it's hard to do.
It is.
If you've never experienced spatial disorientation, it is hard to resist that and trust your instruments. And the physics we just showed is one of the reasons why.
Yeah, because your body feels like you
think you're straight.
You're good. So, all right. Well, that wraps this up, right?
Probably. So I guess I had one other thought.
Sure.
So once we have 1 million views on this thing, and the trolls jump in, and people accuse us of somehow rigging this. Any of those things that we did, you can demonstrate yourself. Obviously, in a car, you can hang a pendulum.
Yep.
If you happen to be in a plane, airline flight, or whatever, hopefully the flight attendants won't take away your bottle cap or your water bottle. Maybe even they'll let you have a pendulum, and you can see when the plane turns, just hold that thing up against the back of the seat, and you'll see the same thing that you just saw in the video.
That's true.
You didn't cheat it.
Yeah, you could do that in an airliner. You're traveling from here to wherever, and you look out the window, and you can see the wing, and you can see the ground. You look out the other window, you can just see sky over there. So you're clearly in a turn. If you got that pendulum, it's going to be pointing straight at the floor, isn't it?
Well, if the pilot's doing his job.
Or if the Airbus is doing its job.
True.
No offense, Airbus pilots. All right. Well, thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
See you soon.